Hello YouTube, how you guys doing today? It is me again, your favorite Texas trucker, and I am in Wisconsin, about to cross back over into Iowa. I've already come up here with my load from Memphis. I got it put in the dock and dropped the trailer in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I picked up my load in La Crosse, and now I'm headed back to Memphis. When I get to Memphis, I'll get this load unloaded and I'll get reloaded to go right back up to La Crosse. That's just the way I like it. I have no complaints about that except for the fact that I'm short on time, and it's going to be a struggle to get this load up there back to La Crosse by Monday, so maybe a little bit short. I don't know how it's going to work yet. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, I have a short topic that I'd like to discuss. I have a friend of mine. I'm not going to name the friend by name, but he'll know who I'm talking about when I lay his situation out here. And I decided to do a video about it because every company operates a little bit different. But one thing is for sure, and that's that as a driver, you have a little bit more control than what you think you have. Okay? So, this is the situation, and this is what I'm going to talk about. This friend of mine, he is a new driver. He has just started with a major company, probably one of the largest companies on the continental United States. It's not Mellis, or not that large. But the way this company works, he went through 3 weeks of school, 160-hour certified class, just like I did. But when it came time to go out with his trainer, he was only out with his trainer for a week. Now, I've said a lot of times that you cannot learn this job by going out with a trainer for a week. It's not going to happen. You can't do it. There's too many things that you got to learn. There's too many things that you've got to master. There's too many things that you've got to keep in mind. You can't do it in a week. It takes a lot longer than a week. On top of that, he went out with another student. So he had 3 people in the truck. So he had to split his time between the other student. I think they may have delivered 3 loads, and then he came back and did some classroom work, and now he's in his own truck. So you can't learn this job in a week. There's going to be people that are going to disagree with me. That's fine. You have every right to disagree with me. This is still a free country. You can have whatever kind of opinion you want. If you disagree with me, you're wrong. You can't learn this job in a week. Yeah, I mean, you can learn to operate the vehicle. You can learn to manage it and keep it on the road. You can learn to back it and put it in a dock. You can learn that. But there's a lot of things about this company there's a lot of things about this job that you just cannot learn in a week because you don't run into every circumstance in a week, You get out on the road 5-6 weeks and you're still not going to learn everything. You're still going to have to learn things out on your own. But at least then you've got enough of a variable amount of experiences that you can draw on to say, okay, well, this worked in this situation. Let's see if I can do something similar in this situation. So here's the deal. He got dispatched on a load. All right. He routed his load, and he didn't make it in time. So he's a little bit short on his time to get there. Now, could he have chosen a faster route? I don't know, because I don't know what route he chose. I know that he spent a lot of time on back roads. Sometimes you have to do that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm not here to talk about the time and stuff. But he's delivering a load. He gets with his dispatcher. His dispatcher says, hey, they'll take it. Just get it there. That's typical dispatch. Typical dispatch talk is just get it there. They're not worried. Dispatchers honestly aren't as worried about whether or not you sit on your tail or not as they are the load getting there and being there when it needs to be there. So if the load gets there 2 or 3 days early, you might have to sit on it for 2 or 3 days. And that's fine with dispatch, as long as that load is there. And it's not fine with the driver, because when the driver's sitting on a load, he ain't making no money. So here's the deal. Don't ever dispatch, whether or not a company is going to take a load early or not. I mean, if they can find out, if they want to find out, chances are good they're just going to tell you whatever they want you to hear to get you to get where it needs to be. What you need to do, and when you're dispatched on a load, on your Qualcomm, when you receive the load information, there should be a phone number for the customer. All right. If your load's not going to be there on time, then you need to contact dispatch and let dispatch know why. If you have a routing issue and you have a problem with the route that you were supposed to take, and say you took a route that's a lot longer or a lot slower and you can't get it there on time, then that's on you. But if you're on the fastest possible route, then and you can't get it there on time, you need to contact dispatch, because they can change your appointment. They can. I don't know if they will, but they can. But the second thing, if you're going to get there early, like I get my loads, where they go early almost all the time. This load that I'm taking right now, today is the 9th. It's going to be delivered on the 10th. It's not due till the 11th. I'm going to pick up a load that's not due to load till the 11th, and I'm going to get it loaded. And then I'm going to get it back up here by Monday when it isn't due till Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay? And I'm going to get unloaded, because I know how to work with these customers a lot. You call the customer on the phone, and 9 times out of 10, unless they're just backlogged and they just cannot do it, they will work you in if you talk to them ahead of time. If you just call up there and you're polite, you explain your situation, tell them when you're going to be there, you ask them if there's any way that you can get unloaded. Most of the time, they will let you do that. Sometimes what they'll tell you, especially if your company has trailers on the lot, is they'll tell you, if they say no, we can't unload you, then your next question is there any possibility I could drop it on your lot and pick up one of our empties? And a lot of times they'll let you do that, and you just have to turn the paperwork in, or you have to leave it in the nose box. But a lot of times they'll let you do that, and you can pick up an empty and be on your way. But you have to do something as the driver. You have to make a phone call. You have to talk to these people. You have to interact with them. You have to make things happen. That's part of your job as a driver, is to work with the customer, and get the load there when it's going to be there. Okay. So that's just all I had to say on that subject. It was just I can't text this guy, he's texting me telling me, what his situation is, and I can't text him because I'm driving. I don't have time to stop and talk to him right now, because I'm really, really short on time, and I'm really pushing hard to use every minute that I can, and to get rolling as fast as I can, so that I can get these loads delivered and picked up and re-delivered, as fast as I can. I'm on a time crunch, so I don't have time to stop and text right now. And I'll call him later, or once I get stopped, I'll send him a message, or something like that. But this is a situation that a lot of new drivers are going to run into, especially if you're in a company that has a week-long training program. A week-long training program, there's just no way to cover everything. When you're out on the road with a trainer for 4 or 5 weeks, maybe that's a long time. You're out there for 7, 8, 9 weeks. You run into so many different situations, and you're constantly, the trainer's telling you, or he should be telling you, call the customer, ask the customer, call the customer. You're going to be early. You want to see if they'll work you in, call the customer, talk to them. A lot of times they will. I've changed my appointments so many times, just by calling the customer. I couldn't even tell you how many times I've done it. Calling the customer, explaining to them that, my dispatcher didn't know the answer to the question. I'm going to be running in early. I've got a real tight schedule. I'm short on time. I need to know if I can get this load off. If there's any way y'all can work me in to get me into a dock, or if I can drop it in your lot and pick up an empty trailer. Who do I need to turn paperwork into? Where do I need to put the paperwork? A lot of those times, those people will tell you, hey, man, if you can be here by 3 o'clock today, come on in, we'll work you in, we'll get you unloaded. That happened to me in St. Louis. I was delivering in St. Louis, and they were like, I was there a day early. They were like, well, I'll tell you what, if you can get here, by 3 o'clock, we'll get you unloaded. I was there by 2:15. I got unloaded. So, you work with the customer, you talk to the customer, and a lot of times you can get stuff done. So that's what I had to say on that. Second is about routing. All right, this is just going to be quick because there's so much information on choosing a route that it's not even funny. As I've said before, a lot of times the shortest possible route, the shortest practical route is a straight line. As close to that straight line as you can get. That is in miles the closest practical route. We're going to assume that we're disregarding truck restricted roads. Alright. So, when I say it's a straight line, you take into consideration the fact that I understand you can't drive an 80,000-pound truck on a truck restricted road. You can't drive a 13-foot, 6-inch truck on a road that has a 12-foot bridge. I'm well aware of that. You stay as close to that straight line as you can, and that's the shortest distance in miles. That's not always the fastest route. All right? You have to balance the shortest route with the fastest route. You have to find that happy medium. All right? There's sometimes, and I use Chicago as an example a lot. Excuse me. A lot of times we'll go from Wisconsin, we'll pick up a load that's going to New York. All right? And it'll take you right through the center of Chicago. That's the fastest. That's the least amount of miles. It's not the fastest route, but it's the least amount of miles. But if you take 90 and 94 through Chicago, you're going to be sitting there for 2 or 3 hours in traffic. It's just not a smart move. So you take 294 around Chicago. That adds 15, 20 miles to your route, but it saves you 2 or 3 hours worth of time. So it's the fastest route. It's the route that you take. Just because it's the shortest route doesn't make it the best route. Alright, sometimes going out of your way on an interstate that's moving at 65 miles an hour is better than cutting cross on a state highway that's running at 50 and 55 miles an hour and then has 4 or 5 towns that you have to drive through. Okay? So that's all I got to say on that. Now, I just want you to consider those things when you're delivering to a customer, because it's the fastest route that's the most important, not the shortest route. All right, and then call your customer and work out a way that you can get your stuff unloaded so you're not sitting on it all weekend. All right, that's all I got to say for today. Y'all take care. Peace out.